Going on, everybody? Mahai back with another video. Today I have an air attack strategy video for you guys for Legend League. I've been doing a lot of ground lately, so this time I'm going to do air. I believe the creator of this is Applesauce. I'm not 100% sure, but shout out to him. So I'm just going to do a much more simplified version. So here's the army. If you guys want to copy it, the link will be down in the description. For equipments, we're only running 3 epics. We've got the Meteor Staff on the Minion Prince. As you see, mine's only level 23. Then we have the action figure on the Queen. Mine's level 26. You don't even need that if you don't want. You could just put the healer puppet on if you don't have that upgraded. And then we're using the new Revenge deck. And as you see, my Dragon Duke is only level 19. And my Revenge deck is only level 21. So I like to make videos for the more casual players, the free-to-play players who don't have max level equipment. Because most of the people on YouTube have max heroes, max equipment, max everything. It's just, I mean, it's good, obviously, but it's just not obtainable for a lot of players. So that's why I like to focus on the more casual players. So let's go hop in our first attack and I'll show you guys how this works. Alright, so sometimes I'm going to use the Queen and the Dragon Duke on the same side to set a big funnel, but on this particular base I'm actually going to use one on each side. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the Dragon Duke up here, because the Dragon Duke with that Revenge deck could probably basically get this entire compartment by itself. And as you see, the Clan Castle's right here, but that Revenge deck is so good at dealing with Clan Castle troops that you don't even need a poison. So I'm not even bringing a poison. So we'll just let that Dragon Duke work. You can use your spell support at first on your Dragon Duke, or you can wait for later on in the attack. The ice blocks, I kind of found that it works better if you save them until later on in the attack. Sometimes I use them early, and it did actually kind of cause some issues. So in hindsight, I would say use your Ice Block spells after you revive your Dragon Duke later in the attack in the core of the base rather than on the outside. But if you need to, you can use your totems and your freezes to help support it, just so it doesn't go down immediately. But it does have the Phoenix as well, so it could get a lot of value over there. And then we'll shoot our Queen's Giant Arrow. This base has an Invis Tower, so we want to make sure we hit that. Any kind of combination here. We could aim for this air defense. We could aim for that air sweeper. We could aim for this air defense down here. It doesn't really matter, but I just want to make sure I'm triggering that Invis Tower. That is the most important. And then my Queen is going to set a funnel. I'm not going to be too greedy with her. I might use a totem spell or two in front of her to keep her alive. But if she just gets that little chunk right there, we're chilling, because that leaves us perfect pathing now right into the core for our dragons. So obviously we'll just drop the dragons out in front. Then we will use our Dragon Riders. We'll drop the Minion Prince, the Warden in with those. We'll use our spells to support. On this base, I'm probably just going to overgrowth down here on this last compartment on the back side of the base, because everything else should be perfectly fine. You want to make sure you have spell support as well for that Revenge Tower, especially since it's deeper into the base. It's going to be really charged up by the time we get to it. And then you just have the rocket balloons to kind of support on the flanks. You can snipe out air defenses, snipe out some key defenses, use it to funnel, just whatever. They're just really versatile, so that's why they're nice to have. But if you don't want to spend the Dark Elixir to have 2 super troops, you don't have to. You could just bring more dragons if you want to, and it'll still work out fine. So we'll go ahead and get rid of the drawing, and we'll press play. And I forgot to mention, this one's a friendly challenge, but the next 2 are actually going to be in Legend League. I just wanted to show you on a friendly challenge first how it works, and then we'll hop into Legend League. So as you see, we get our Dragon Duke going with that Revenge deck. I'm going to zoom out just in case we use the Queen here shortly, because I can't remember exactly when I used it. But we do have that Headhunter in there, but look at this. It doesn't even matter. Just everything gets absolutely melted by the Dragon Duke. There goes our Queen's Giant Arrow. We got the air defense on the backside, and we also triggered that Invis, so really good there. We're going to give our Queen a little bit of support down here just to make sure that funnel gets set a little bit quicker, because we want to make sure none of our dragons go wandering to the outside. That's why I did use a couple rocket balloons there as well to just snipe out that mortar. So now we have a perfect trail right into the base. We have no trash buildings on the outside that's going to pull anything. Our Queen goes in and snipes out the enemy Queen, which is really nice, and then she should walk down after taking the Super Wizard Tower, and she should actually take out that air defense, which is really nice. And our Ice Hound unfortunately did pull to it, but it's not the end of the world. We just need to make sure we get through this core before that Invisibility Tower recharges. We don't want that to happen at all, but if it did, we do have the Minion Prince Dark Orb ability that we could use to trigger it. But as you see, Town Hall goes down. As long as we get that Revenge Tower before that Invis goes off, we're chilling, and the Invis didn't even get recharged. So we get that down, we shoot our Minion Prince's Dark Orb ability, which got the Monolith frosted over because it's doing a lot of damage to our Dragon Duke. As you see, we overgrowth at the bottom. There wasn't a ton of value there. We did have the air defense and the multi-archer tower, but we really didn't even need it. We probably honestly could have just swagged that overgrowth, because as you see, we have tons of troops alive. Our Warden's full health, our Minion Prince is full health, our Dragon Duke's still up. We still have a revive spell for him as well. Our Queen's still up, about to go down, but she might actually survive. It's hard to say, but we do have dragons alive as well. Our Infernal Dragon's still alive. We absolutely crushed the base. We swag that revive spell as well and absolutely crushed it. So let's go hop into our Legend League attacks now. Alright, into our first Legend League attack, as you see, we have the double rage towers. This is a nasty compartment up here, so we want to make sure we get that out as early as we can. And this was actually a really, really poorly executed attack. In hindsight, I should have just used my queen over here on the left, and I should have used my Dragon Duke at the bottom. But instead, I got greedy, sent my Dragon Duke in, tried to get that monolith out, and we end up actually losing our Dragon Duke to the outside of the base. It's going to end up wandering. So yeah, it was actually a really poorly executed attack, which is just going to show you how much of a margin for error you have with this, because it is incredibly strong. And this time I actually used my ice blocks as well, because I was getting so greedy, which I highly recommend not doing that. Like I said, I would definitely save them for when you revive the Dragon Duke later in the attack and use them in the core of the base, because in the core of the base it's just going to get so much more value, because as you see here, we still didn't end up getting them defenses, and we used all of our ice blocks. So we just used our Dragon Duke basically to trim the entire flank on one side. It really didn't get any value, so that was just really, really bad on my part there. So now I'm trying to decide what I want to do, because we've already used the Queen, we've already used the Dragon Duke, we basically have no value here. So we're just going to path in from the left side over here, go through that monolith, go through that revenge tower, but there's no way we're going to be able to keep our troops nicely, tightly grouped together here, just because it's such a wide flank on the base that we left up. Like I said, such a huge mistake. So we're going to go ahead and use our rocket balloons over here, trying to get them into that monolith to at least distract so we don't lose a bunch of our dragons or dragon riders. It goes down pretty quick. We'll go ahead and use our warden's ability here pretty soon. But unfortunately, like I said, our troops are really spread out, so we don't even hit most of them. A lot of them are sitting outside of the Dragon Duke, or sorry, the minion, jeez, the Grand Warden Eternal Tome. I don't know, I had a stroke there for a second, I think. We use the Overgrowth on the Fire Spitter, the Super Wizard Tower, and the Revenge Tower, which is really good. But we get really unlucky here, and nothing actually targets the Revenge Tower here for a long time. We're pretty much completely avoiding it here, so we did get our Dragon Duke at least revived to go in for that, so it wasn't hitting our main army. So we did use a freeze to kind of get that to retarget, because we definitely didn't want that retargeting our main army. And this is just all over the place right now. We use our last revive, the Dragon Duke does take out that monolith, and we get the triple. It was kind of close, but there was obviously nothing here that was going to take our Dragon Duke out, especially with all that healing we have. So yeah, that was egregious execution. That was absolutely awful, and we still get the triple. So I wanted to still show you guys so you can learn from my mistakes, so you don't have to make them on your own. So let's go hop into our last attack. Alright, into our final attack, and I got a question for you guys. Look at all these decorations on the outside. I have the setting turned on to hide decorations, and they're still showing up for me. So if you guys have ever had that happen and know how to fix it, please let me know, because it is incredibly irritating having to see all them decorations. And we used our Queen's Giant Arrow to snipe out 2 air defenses. We also triggered the invis, but it's not going to matter because we're going to path from so far away that it is going to recharge by the time we get in there. We're going to go ahead and use a freeze on the monolith. I did use an ice block there, which was actually, again, really bad in hindsight. I kind of learned later on to use them later in the attack. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing that. So we use our... Wow, I used another ice block. I don't know what I was thinking, but we used our rocket balloons, we sniped out the monolith, but I definitely didn't need that ice block. I should have just let my Dragon Duke go down. There was really no benefit of that whatsoever. So I'm trying to decide if I want to path from the left or the right. I got this Inferno Dragon up here just cleaning some of this trash while I kind of think here. I think I'm going to come in from the right-hand side, and I do. So in hindsight, again, shouldn't have used those ice blocks. Should have just let that go down, and it would have been fine. But we did get decent value out of the Queen's Giant Arrow, at least. We're just going to lose some of our dragons to the outside here because it isn't the greatest funnel. But it should be alright. Most of them are going to the core. We're going to get that Revenge Tower out of the way early, which is exactly what you want. You want to try not to leave that up too late. And if you do, go ahead and just use the Overgrowth on it. We're going to Overgrowth back here on the back side of the base. And another thing, if you have freezes left over, definitely use them on the Guardian, especially if it's a Logger, because the Logger is incredibly annoying. I like to keep that frozen up, as you see there. We froze the Guardian as well as the enemy Dragon Duke, which is perfect. So that's going to go down really quickly, not get any value there. The Invis does go off again, which is a little bit annoying because we have really nowhere to path now because of that Overgrowth spell. The Overgrowth does wear off. We got everything kind of grouped up now. We did revive the Dragon Duke up here at the top. And unfortunately, the core doesn't completely go down, so we're going to have to rely on our Dragon Duke here, which does happen quite often actually, where your dragons just kind of get a bunch of value and then go down, and then you're relying on your Dragon Duke to finish off the base. As you see, we still have 4 dragons over here, 1 Dragon Rider, 2 Dragon Riders actually still putting in work. So we have plenty to finish off this base, as you can see. We still have a revive spell for the Dragon Duke as well. Really, we could have swagged it, but we end up using it just for time's sake. Oops, I accidentally pressed the button too many times. And you see, we actually crushed the base, even though, again, it wasn't the greatest execution. We still have 3 dragons standing. Our Inferno Dragon was still standing. And our Dragon Duke still completely full health after being revived. So it's a very powerful attack. You do have to practice it a little bit to make sure you can get your dragons to path. As you see, I'm not very good at it because I didn't really practice it at all. I just kind of went straight in with it. And yeah, my execution was really bad, but I still got triples, which goes to show you if you practice with it, it can be incredibly strong. So let me know in the comments how it works out for you guys. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next video.